So, does your father live at home?
No.
Where does he live?
New York.
When was the last time you seen him?
Last Thanksgiving.
Does your father live at home?
No, my father lives with his wife and 2 children, and I just live with my mother. My parents are divorced.
How do you feel about not having a father around?
It sucks, because like some kids, like when they have fathers and they want to like go places with their fathers, I can't do that.
How do you feel about not having a father around?
Normal. Cause it's normal, cause like I never grew up with my father or nothing.
Yeah, but what if I was to say to you it's not normal? Most people have fathers around. How does it feel for you? Do you feel like you're missing anything?
Yeah.
What?
Cause sometimes I miss that he be taking us out and stuff, cause most of my friends' fathers take them skating and stuff like that, and my father doesn't around to do that.
Well, I guess if he did live with me, then I'd have more support, and I feel I don't have that from him, because even when I do see him, we don't talk that much. I never really talk to him, like sit down and talk to him, so I don't really have like that emotional support or any kind of support really from him.
When he first left, I really wanted him to come home. Like, I'd sort of hope and I'd expect him every now and then. But now I've basically given up on that, and it's better than him being there and fighting with my mom all the time. So it's basically, there's no option.
How do you feel about not having your father living with you? What's it like?
It's like my house doesn't feel as full as it is when he's around. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's completely different. Everybody acts different. It's just the wrong feeling. Wrong feeling in the house.
Does your father live at home?
Yes, he does.
Do you spend a lot of time with him?
No, I don't, because he works. The only time we spend is when we're on the computer using the modem.
What do you guys what do you talk about?
Talk about computers like CD-ROMs and modems and online services like CompuServe.
Does your father live at home?
Yes, he does live at home.
What's that like?
It's good. We get along really well.
What do you like most about your father?
That he's funny, makes me laugh by telling funny jokes.
What does your father like best about you?
I think he likes best about me is that I'm smart and I do very well in school.
That's important to him? Why?
Because shows that I'm very smart and I don't waste my time on a lot of foolish things.
What do you like most about your father?
Let's see. I don't know. There's so many things that I really like about him, which is weird. I mean, a lot of my friends don't like envy their dad. It's kind of a separate relationship. Like they just see him as a person, like a parent who tells them what to do and what not to do. But I definitely think my dad is my most favorite person. And, I'm not even just saying that because, like, you'd hope that'd be true, but it definitely is true. Like, if there were one person that I'd want to be like, it would definitely be my dad. He, I don't know, he cares for everyone, and he's always, he would never do anything mean, and he wants everyone to feel good about themselves. So, I don't know, he kind of seems like too perfect, but he really is definitely a cool person.
What kind of things would you do if your father was around more?
I'd be happier, a lot happier, and I think I'd do better in school, because it's like my father is just that type of person to give somebody a burst of confidence. It's just like he's there. As long as he's there, I'm happy. But I love my mother too, but it's just my father gives me something extra.
What kind of things would you do if your father was around more?
I'd probably study a lot more and do a lot more schoolwork because my mom would be home instead of working.
Would you be a different person if your father lived with you? Like, how would that make you different in the way you
I might be a stronger person because I might have a lot more support from both of them together. I'd be more stable, I think, you know, having a family life. A lot of things would probably worked out better for me because I would have been stable, and it's hard to think about it.
Yeah. Would you be a different person if you had a father living with you?
Yep.
Why? What would make you different?
If my father was living with us, it'd be better because he knows how to do stuff right, and then I can be following in his footsteps.
You get in trouble a lot?
Yeah,
For what?
like all kinds of dumb stuff.
What else would you want a father to do? What would you want your father to do?
Just do things, hang out, and just like do things at home so I don't have to be like out all the time.
You out all the time?
Not all the time, but sometimes I'm outside or hanging out with something.
Are there other men who are important to you, like an uncle, grandfather, teacher, neighbor,
My brothers.
or brothers?
Mhm.
Who's the most important man in your life?
Grown up man.
Who's the most grown-up man? Yeah, adult man.
My grandfather.
Your grandfather? Why? What's he do?
He's like, if my mother needs help with us, she'll call him first. And she'll tell him first that what we're doing and stuff, and he'll talk to us and stuff.
So are there other men who are important to you? An uncle, a grandfather, maybe a neighbor?
My grandfather is really important to me. He's very important to me. I'm his only grandchild, and he and my mother are very close, and sometimes he feels like my father, you know, treats me like his dad, but inside I know he's not. He's my grandfather. But he's very important to me. He's done a lot for my mother and I, and a lot for me.
I have one uncle, and he's my role model. Well, my male role model besides my father. He works with a lot of teens, and he's not like, I don't think he's like any other uncle. You can talk to him about anything in the world, and you feel comfortable with him.
Are there other men who are important to you? Like an uncle, a grandfather, teacher,
My
neighbor?
grandfather
Why? What does he do?
is a street worker. He talks to kids and stuff.
So what makes him special to you?
He be helping me with my problems.
Yeah, my grandfather he's around a lot. He's helpful. He's kind of like that father figure. Like, he takes me out and he's like, let's fix the roof or whatever that is. And I have a man who he's been a friend of the family like as long as I've been alive, and he was my partner. He was my sponsor for confirmation, and like I'll hang out with him every now and then. So his name's Robert Schmidt, if anybody ever runs across him, and he's a real nice guy.
What kind of stuff do you talk to your grandfather about?
About if I was with my father, it'd be better. And I miss my father and stuff like that.
What about your father? Do you talk to him about problems at all?
My relationship with my father is really light. When we don't see each other too often, and so it seems silly to get in an argument or to be mad or deal with any big issue. So really, no, I can't remember talking about him with a better problem, unless it's money. I ask him for money all the time.
Who's the disciplinarian in the home? Who's stricter, your mom or your dad?
My father is, because sometimes maybe I would leave my room messy, he tell me in a strict manner to clean it up.
Is that why maybe you're not as close to your father as your mother?
Yes, that is why.
When something's really bothering you, would you ever talk to your father about it?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, I may not go to him so much about like my boyfriend or something and be like, oh, we went on a bad date last night, but usually things that really bother me most would be, I don't know, not feeling good about myself, or, you know, worrying about what I'm gonna do and like what I should do, or, you know, how I should deal with a problem. And he's always really good. He doesn't judge me if I go to him with a problem. I don't think he, you know, he'll like give me his answer, his best like thing, and be like, you know, I love you, do what you want, do what you have to do, and then that's it. Like, I mean, he'll give me advice, but he's not overly advice. Like, you know, every time I see him, he's like, make sure you talk to that person, you know, I want you to do this. It's just he's there when I want him, but when I don't, when I need space, he's there too.
If my father was around, I'd probably, spend about the same amount of time with him, and I'd view him in a whole new light, and just because he'd be around all the time, and I'd actually have to deal with him. Right now, I don't have to deal with, like, if there's like, I'm like getting a bad grade in a class, or I've done something wrong and I've gotten in trouble for it, I don't have to deal with anything from him, because he knows and I know that I can just go home, and I mean, he's got nothing, no control at that point. I'm out of his grasp, and so that would change, because I'd have to go home and face him, instead of he'd have to try and, I mean, he can't, like, he basically can't oppose me. I guess I've gotten the power in the relationship since he left. When he walked out, he sort of gave me up, and it's my choice if I want to go back or not.
Imagine that you're grown up, you're married and have children. What do you think your husband will be like with your kids?
I am positive he has to have an extreme bondage with them. He has to love them more than he loves himself. He has to. And I think he'll be humorous with them. I think they'll have a lot of fun together. With me, too. So I think they'll get along. And I don't want to be another statistic mother, a teenage mother. I don't want to be one of those, and I'm not going to be. And I didn't plan on having children till after I got my lawyer degree. So I'm focused on what I want in life.
Imagine that you're grown up and married and have children. What do you think your husband will be like with your kids?
The way I picture it, it seems like it's happy, you know, everybody's happy. It's, you know, me and my husband and our kids, and it's just perfect little family. That's the way I picture it in my head. I don't know what it would really be like, but the way I picture it, everything's happy. You know, he's always with the kids, or we're always all together. You know, takes them to wherever, ball game, whatever, you know. It's like a happy little picture, but I know it's not always like that. That's kind of just like a dream.
Imagine yourself as an adult. What would you be like with your kids, do you think?
I'd be as loyal to them as I could, and I'd make sure they always knew that I loved them and that I was there for them, and I'd never leave them, I guess. I'd probably be a pain in the butt for a father, but whatever. Their problem.
What do you think you'd be like with your kids?
I'll be better. I'll be, instead of the girl doing all the stuff with him, I'll be doing all the stuff with him.
Like what?
Like like when the teacher be calling home, they always ask for his mother, but they be asking for me and not his mother.
What else?
Like my kids, that I would never leave them. I'll always be with them.
No matter what.
Yeah.
If you could give all fathers one piece of advice, what would it be?
Okay, one piece of advice. Be like my dad. No, I'm just kidding. Be there for when your kids need you, and ask them about how they are, and be a friend to them. But don't try to make up for their best friend, because they're not your age. They can't be your friend, but they can always be there for you and give you good advice and hope that you'll take it. But you can't force them to take it with you.
If you could give all fathers one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't screw around, like with other women or anything, and to be loyal, I guess.
If you could give all fathers one piece of advice, what would it be?
It takes anybody to make a baby, but it takes a man to be a father.
If you could give all the fathers one piece of advice, what would it be?
Just to show your love to your children. Because you have to love them. They're your children, they're your own flesh and blood, but you have to show your love. To let them know how much you care about them. Because if you don't show it, then they don't know it's there. And they can't feel that love that you should be giving them. They don't get it in return if you don't show it to them. It's kind of a hard question. I don't really know exactly. But I think that's something that matters if you show the love.